Hello everyone, I'm Randy Arrington and welcome to the 29th episode of Page Valley Living. We're here today at the Luray Singing Tower just across Route 211 from the world-famous Luray Caverns. Also known as the Belle Brown Northcott Memorial, this stone structure stretches 117 feet into the Luray skyline and was built in 1937 by local stonemasons contracted by Colonel T.C. Northcott. The carillon portion of the singing tower contains 47 bells, with the largest measuring 6 feet in diameter and weighing nearly 4 tons. The smallest bell weighs a mere 12.5 pounds. Today we'll be talking with the resident carilloneur at the singing tower, Jason Perry. We'll talk about the history of this site and what it takes to maintain such a structure, as well as what it takes to become a resident carilloneur. We'll talk about all that and much more in just a moment, but first, let's take a look at this week's headlines. And now looking back at the week that was in the Page Valley. Last week, the Page County Board of Supervisors gave the much-discussed Visitors Center a 30-day reprieve by allocating $8,500 for this month's expenses and allowing the Chamber of Commerce to continue operating the facility until a final decision is made on July 15th. The Luray Council mentioned during its meeting Monday night that they would be willing to donate the town's annual $25,000 allotment of county TOT funds toward the operation of the Visitor Center in order to keep it at the train depot. Supervisors are expected to render a final decision among 3 different options this coming Monday night. The Page County Sheriff's Office issued a press release midday on Monday identifying the victim of a fatal drowning over the weekend along the South Fork of the Shenandoah River in Page County. Melvin Sorto, a 37-year-old male from Washington, D.C., was last seen swimming in the Shenandoah River near the Compton Rapids, a few miles north of Luray. Witness accounts stated that Sorto became distressed, went under, and did not resurface, according to a press release issued by Captain Tim Lansbury. The victim was pulled from the water by other bystanders who attempted to perform life-saving measures until EMS arrived. However, the victim died at the scene. Law enforcement officials stated that they do not suspect foul play. However, alcohol is believed to be a factor in the fatal accident. The body has been sent to the office of the Chief Medical Examiner in Manassas for an autopsy. Page County Public Schools announced last week that 4 additional early release days are being added to the 2024-25 school calendar in order to accommodate more professional training for teachers and staff. The move is a direct reaction to meet new state mandates related to the Virginia Literacy Act passed in 2022 by the Virginia General Assembly. In the world of sports, we want to send out a big congratulations to the Shenandoah Recreation League's 12 Major 60 All-Stars who won the Virginia State Championship after going undefeated in the Babe Ruth Tournament in Nokesville. The Shenandoah team won all 5 games, including a 6-0 victory over Brentsville in the state championship. Shenandoah's Jules Painter earned the Most Valuable Player award during the state tournament. The young ace pitched a complete game shutout in the championship game with 12 strikeouts and no walks. After winning the state championship, the Shenandoah 12 Major 60 All-Stars earned a spot in the 50-70 state tournament, where they earned the 2024 Major 70 Don Rose Memorial Sportsmanship Award. The 12 Majors All-Stars played 8 games in 9 days with a final record of 6-2. And now looking at the weekend ahead in the Page Valley, lots going on Friday, July 12th from 6 to 9 p.m. It's Cruise In Fridays on 1st Street in Shenandoah. From 7 to 9 p.m., it's Evenings on Main downtown Luray as they present the Earls of Kent down at Ruffner Plaza. Also from 7 to 9 on Friday, it's Trivia Night at the Valley Cork, also in downtown Luray. On Saturday, July 13th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., it's the Daughter of the Stars Farmers Market down at 736 4th Street in Shenandoah. And from 5 to 7 p.m., it's Music Under the Arbor at Wisteria Farm and Vineyard out on Marksville Road near Stanley. And at 7 p.m. in Luray, a 45-minute recital at the Luray Singing Tower. Then on Sunday, July 14th at 3 p.m., there'll be another 45-minute recital at the Luray Singing Tower. And at 3 p.m. also, trivia out at Wisteria Farm and Vineyard. And that's the headlines for the past week in the Page Valley. Episode 29 of Page Valley Living is being recorded on Wednesday, July 3rd, and will air on Wednesday, July the 10th. And we're back here in the tippity top of the bell tower, the Luray Singing Tower, with Jason Perry, the resident carilloneur. Did I say that correctly?
That's right.
All right. Jason, thanks so much for being with us and taking some time with us today.
Well, thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
And thank you for letting me come up here at the top of the bell tower and wear this bell as a hat today, because I tell you, these things are huge, and it's amazing the sounds that they make. We told folks early on that there were 47 bells in this tower. Why 47?
That's the number they went with back then. You need to have 23 at least to become a carillon.
Okay, at least 23.
That's right. As a matter of fact, this carillon is one of the country's major carillons.
One of the country's major. How many are there in the U.S.?
There are about 180, but not all of them work, and not all of them have a carillonneur.
I did not realize it was quite so rare. Now, they have a lot more over in like Europe and all, right?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They have a deeper history with bells than we do over here.
Okay. So we got 47 bells here, and when they are cast and made, they're tuned at that time, right? There's no going back and retuning like a piano. They're tuned when they cast, correct?
That's right. When they cast the bells, they tune them to one another. So these particular bells are all tuned with each other.
Now, where did they come from in the 1930s when they were brought over here to Luray?
The Taylor Company made them from England, and that company is centuries old, multi-generational, yeah. And so they cast the bells and shipped them over here. And in order to get them into the belfry, they had to come through the front door, and they were hoisted through the center of the tower, and they were connected together up here in the belfry.
They were brought right up through the tower. Now, one of these bells, the largest one, weighs 4 tons. Do you have any idea how they got a 4-ton bell up 120 feet, 117 feet?
I'm assuming a crane.
That's pretty good. I tell you, for the 1930s, that is very good. Now, obviously, you can't just go to Walmart and get parts for this, right?
That's right.
So if something happens with a bell, or if something happens with, now what is the instrument downstairs is the carillon?
Yeah, that's the console for the carillon. Yep.
Okay. And so if either of these break down, how do you fix them?
Yeah, there are some things you can get from a hardware store, but we do have a company that comes in once a year, and they'll replace the felt pads or the rubber pads, and they'll look over general maintenance of the instrument, and they'll make sure the bolts are good and things like that.
Okay. Before we talk about the carillon and go downstairs, will you play us a little something on that?
Sure. I'd be happy to.
That would be exciting. I wanted our Eleanor to maybe get a shot of this inscription on this bell here, and maybe take a look back up at the bells in this tower as we get ready to go downstairs now with Jason and look at the carillon portion of the tower. And now taking a few steps down, we're here below the bells in the top of the bell tower at the carillon with Jason Perry. And Jason, how does one become a carillonneur?
I became a carillonneur when I went to college. I went to Westminster College in New Wilmington, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And we had a carillon there, and it would ring the Westminster chime every 15 minutes. And so I knew that they had offered lessons for the carillon, and my junior year, beginning of my junior year, I decided to inquire. And I took lessons from Ray Ocock up there. Okay. And when I graduated, I thought that was it. I'd be done playing the carillon. And when I moved to the valley and found the Luray Singing Tower, I said, oh my goodness. So then I went and met David Brenneman, at the time was the carillonneur, took lessons with David. And life pulled me away from the tower for about a period of 10 years or so, and thankfully I'm back and serving as carillonneur here for Luray.
Wonderful. And how long have you been studying?
I graduated in 2008 with a music ed degree.
Okay.
So I studied then, and then I took lessons from David for a little while, and then about 10 years or so, like I said, I'd step away. Okay. But now I'm getting back into it for sure.
So you were contracted by the Luray Parks Association, which has guidance and providence over the inland park, the property here at the Singing Tower. And is that a year ongoing? Is that year to year? How long is the contract for?
It's seasonal.
Seasonal, okay, okay. Very well, very well. And so you talked before about that there's about 180 carillons in the country, some of which are not functioning and not operational. How many carilloneurs do you think there are in the United States?
Well, I don't know the exact number, but I did attend a Carillon Congress in West Virginia a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
There were well over 100 people there.
Interesting, very interesting. All right, well, you promised us a little number here. Would you be willing to play 30 seconds or so of a number for us?
Sure, absolutely.
And what are you going to play for us?
This is Preludio number 10 by Van den Gay.
All right, thank you very much for playing. Wonderful, wonderful, great job, great job. Now, the big question I've been wanting to ask you all day, and right after you've played the bells, I've got to, for whom does the bell toll?
This bell tolls for Luray.
There you go. Great answer. Great answer.
This tower is Luray's stalwart and timeless companion.
It really is. That's very well put. Very well put. So you've got recitals coming up. I think some people, they always drive by and say, "Oh, it looks nice," but I never seen them playing the bells. So when are you having recitals, special events coming up?
Sure. We play Saturdays at 7 and Sundays at 3 from now through October.
Every Saturday, every Sunday?
Correct.
Wow.
And then we have a July 4th recital tomorrow.
Okay.
But then we have a Labor Day recital on Labor Day at 3.
Labor Day at 3. Yes, we are filming this on July 3rd. July 4th will have passed by the time we air this on July 10th. But once again, I want to hit that one more time. Saturdays at 7 p.m. and Sundays at 3?
Correct.
Then Sundays at 3. And the concerts last about
45 minutes.
45 minutes. Wow, good for you. All right. That's fantastic. We're definitely going to have to catch it. I will say I don't live far away, and sometimes we can hear them in the distance.
Oh, good.
And it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. We're going to take a really quick break. And we're going to come back and play a game called the 5 W's. Will you do that with us?
Absolutely.
All right,
yeah,
thank you very much. Stick around, we'll do that in just a moment. But first, we would like to invite local businesses to consider being a sponsor of Page Valley Living. Each week we explore a different issue important to the people of the Page Valley, and our viewership is growing. Each episode remains on our YouTube channel library indefinitely. So consider helping us keep this segment of our local news coverage alive and trying a new medium for your marketing. Monthly rates are available. And now back to the Carillon, here with Jason Perry of the Luray Singing Tower, the resident carilloneur, and the 5 W's. I'm going to ask you quick questions about who, what, when, where, and why. Are you ready?
I am.
You are ready, I can tell. Who first inspired you to become a carilloneur?
I would have to say that it was happenstance for me.
Okay.
But then my carillon professor Ray, I loved that man to death. I really did. And so I would say Ray was a big motivator in encouraging me to really get into the carillon and really take it seriously.
Well, it is a unique instrument, so what other instrument would you compare it to?
I would compare this instrument with a cross between the organ and a gigantic metallophone.
Metallophone?
Yes, it's like a xylophone, but with metal bars.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you have your keyboard up here, you have your pedals down here, so it's very similar to an organ.
Okay.
And then with all the metal hanging above us, it's very similar to a metallophone. So that's why I say it's a cross between the two instruments.
Okay, outstanding. When did you first start playing? You've already answered this, but I'm going to go ahead and stick with when did you first start playing?
Sure, 2006.
2006. And where else have you played? Carillon?
Sure, I played in Mercersburg. I got to try the carillon at Concord University in Athens, West Virginia, And I've also had the great privilege of meeting Ed Nasser at the National Cathedral.
He's the guy, right? He's the guy.
Yeah. So David took me over and we met Ed, and super nice guy, and went up to the carillon at the National Cathedral, and I got to play those bells.
Really? Now that must have been a great experience.
It really was. It really was. I'll always remember.
Now, we always end up with the why. Why do you do what you do?
I love it. It's as simple as that. I love this instrument. I love the music. I love how people are interested in what you do. It's a great talking piece. It brings people together. It's a wonderful instrument. It really is. And to be a part of something like this, I just feel is so special. So special.
There's so much history here. It is so unique. It all sets right across from Route 211 at Luray Caverns. It is an institution in this community, and so glad to have you here to provide this wonderful music for our community and our tourists.
Thank you.
And we do want to say thanks to Jason Perry for being with us here today and spending some time. Thanks so much for agreeing to be on our show.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Can you send us off with a big gong? The big deepest gong we got?
How about the chime? You ready?
Yeah. That's Jason Perry right there, resident carilloneur at the Luray Singing Tower. We want to say thanks to Eleanor Arrington for all of her work behind the camera today. If you like today's show, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Page Valley News. And don't forget to share this video with a friend as well. Also, go down to the Page County Animal Shelter. Make sure you help some of our furry friends find a forever home. Until next week, I'm Randy Arrington saying, enjoy that Page Valley living.